What do I mean by that? People can grow up in an environment where outlandish things could be considered normal. Let's start with slavery.
Jazakallah khair. I got your point, but still I have a doubt. A slave delivers the child of the owner. Is it with nikah or without nikah? You said she is equal to wife, but not wife. Does that mean there is no nikah with slave girl?
Nikah is not done. I said it clearly, there's nothing to hide here. Nikah is not done. But you can say that marriage is of two types. You can say this. This is not a fiqh. Marriage is of two types. Marriage with free women is through a process called nikah. And nikah is a contract that there has to be two witnesses and obviously the consent of the husband and wife, two witnesses, a qazi, and the wali of the girl. That is called nikah. This process, this type of contract is called nikah. On the other hand, this is a marriage, you may say, between a owner and milkul yamin. When the owner acquires the female slave with her consent, he may ask her to be the milkul yamin. Today, if suppose slavery was there, and there were the humanitarian organizations, if a boy came to a slave girl and said, and they start being in a living relationship, if this is a concept that is acceptable to the Western world, why is this? A man coming to a female slave with her permission stays inside a contract with honor. He keeps the woman with honor, and the Western society says this is not acceptable. Subhanallah. Think about it. How will be nikah done with a slave woman when the wali of the woman, the owner is the wali of the woman? She might be a prisoner of war. She might be however she has, even if she is smuggled, she doesn't have her father or mother here. The owner is the wali. The owner is the wali. Now the owner has bought the slave and he is asking her, I want you to be my milkul yamin, the possession of the right hand. And she says yes, and this becomes a contract and they remain together. It's like a marriage. Not nikah, but thinking that marriage is a contract between a man and woman, it might be called so.
To unwrap this, there are two ways to acquire slaves in the Islamic world. First, prisoner of wars getting enslaved, and when there is already slaves in the ecosystem, you can buy an existing slave from another slave owner. There are three versions of slaves in the Islamic culture for female slaves. It's the Amma, that's the lowest tier, whatever you want to call it. Then it's the Milkul Amin. This is a higher ranking female slave. She will get her own house. She will not inherit because this is only for the wife of the owner, but she has a higher, by the lack of better words, tier. And the highest tier of female slaves is Umul Walad. So when the owner of the female slaves has a child with Mikul Amin, then she will become Umul Walad. That means she's bearing the child of the owner. That means when the owner dies, she will be a free woman. The cycle of slavery is broken. She can inherit like a wife, and so on and so on. This is just a summary. But why do we talk about slavery? Slavery is abolished hundreds of years ago, right?
We have Yazidi women, we have Kurdish women, and we have Christians.
In the event that a female's capture is killed in battle, she would face the unknown and be returned to the sex slave market to be degraded and resold again, trapped in a vicious cycle of rape, humiliation, and hopelessness.
So yeah, the abolishment of slavery is not quite there yet. And as I said, the only way of going into slavery in the Islam world is prison of war. So these women are prisoners of war. And you heard it, Yazidi women, Christian women. And then they can purchase as Amma, Milkul Amin and Walad when she is pregnant by the owner. The audio file said something about nikah. Nikah is a contract between two parties, more or less, the husband, the wife, two witnesses. Let's just dive into nikah. And for the Pakistani struggle snuggle gangs, let's see if this sounds familiar for the UK. So this is from June 2025. Moment of change. Is Pakistan ready to ban marriage? Pakistan's President Asif Ali Zardari has signed the Marriage Restraint Bill 2025 into law, amending the law to criminalize marriage in the federal capital of Islamabad. Campaigners are celebrating a victory. Religious voices have branded it un-Islamic. Facilitating someone under 18 into marriage now carries a prison term of up to 7 years in Pakistan's capital city. Every year in Pakistan, around 1,000 girls from religious minorities are abducted and forced into marriage and conversion. The law covers 2.3 million residents of Islamabad. 230 million other citizens are not covered by the change. So it's 1% of the populace. Milestone. This bill sends a powerful message. Senator Sherry Rehman of the Pakistan People's Party told the media it's a very important signal to the country, to our development partners, and to women that their rights are protected at the top. Marital age in the city of Islamabad is now 18 for all. Read for yourself, please. Within marriage is now, I will not read this out loud, parents, clerics, and registrars assisting staff may face jail time. So the video you saw earlier, they face jail time only if they do this in Islamabad. Wildly hailed as a moment of change and historic step, campaigners note it is the third attempt. It is the third attempt for this bill to be passed. It comes amid a continuing crisis of forced targeting religious minorities in Pakistan. As you saw in the other video earlier with the Yazidi and Christians and different religions or religious minorities, it's kind of different for them. Un-Islamic, unacceptable, unbearable. The bill's passage triggered a fierce backlash from some quarters, including the conservative Sunni Muslim Jamiat, read for yourself please, party, who called it unacceptable and unbearable, insisting puberty should mark the age a girl can be married. Not can marry, can be married. There's a difference. We should not be forcing the age of marriage, politician Maulana Abdul Ghaffur Haidari said in comments reported by the UK's Guardian newspaper. Parents should decide that, and children should consent to it. Yeah, you saw the consent in the video, right? The Council of Islamic Ideology, a constitutional advisory body, issued a statement insisting parts of the bill do not align with Islamic injunctions. The bill introduced by Madame Sharmila Faruqi has been declared un-Islamic, and CII said, speaking through its media wing in Islamabad. All CII member Mulanja stated this bill is not only against the norms of Sharia but also contrary to the values of our society. And now you know why you have these kind of stuff in Britain. Values and mindsets. The prominent Islamic scholar Maulana Fazlul of the whatever announced nationwide protest rallies against the bill. On Wednesday, a private legal action was launched against Pakistan's government, describing the bill as repugnant to Sharia. For me, this word Islamophobia was created in bad faith, to stifle critics, to crush conversations with a label. You should be allowed to criticize this. But it's a huge victory for 1% of the country. Experts believe around 1,000 girls of Christian and Hindu identity are abducted and forced into marriage and religious conversion in Pakistan every year. Religious minorities, particularly poor Christian communities, are targeted for female abductions, and parents describe a web of official silence and complacency as they try to find lost children. Cases such as that of 14-year-old Huma Yunus, which the authorities refused to investigate, or 14-year-old Mira Shibas, sorry if I butchered that name, whose case reached court, but who was ordered back into her abductor's custody. The case of 12-year-old Farah Shaheen, who was held shackled in an animal pen and raped, and 13-year-old Arzu Raja, whose abductor submitted falsified conversion documents, were marked by judicial delays and prosecution failures, a picture repeated in hundreds of cases investigated by the Jubilee campaign. The scale of Pakistan's problem is causing experts to question whether the change in Islamabad's law represents real change and whether it can have even be implemented. I will link the article below. Do I fear Islam? Yeah, I do. So it makes me an Islamophobe, I guess, because I truly fear Islam. And I will soon show you why. The next bit is fragmented. I will jump from one topic to another topic to another topic just to visualize why I personally have these fears. I start with these groups here. Just a quick scroll because there are many. And then we go to the next. And then we jump a little bit, but we will conclude in the end. So, Germans being Germans, we have a website that indicates all the knife crime broken down over the day. So we had 9 today. I already checked the sources. And then you can check the overall data from this month till now. And this is per day. 27, 26, and so on and so on. Official statements. So, Syrian 16 and Tunis guy 24. 2 injured with knife, and a van got stolen. And someone on a bike got badly injured. And these are from the official websites of the counties. Future Me here. This website was created because of the statements of isolated incidents, to have a broader view, and only official reports are shown in the statistic. Badly behaved schoolgirls lie that Muslims were ordered out of classroom led to a teacher's decapitation when her father used her story to spread hate, leading to Islamists' murder that shocked the world. This is the screenshot. Muslim schoolgirl admits lying that her teacher was Islamophobic, which led to him being decapitated by a jihadist because she was suspended for 2 days and worried her parents would be angry. Go to Iran. But why do I bring up these cases? A 30-year-old Iranian woman, I will butcher this name, so out of respect I will not say it, was shot and left paralyzed after police opened fire on her car while attempting to impound it due to a prior violation of Iran's mandatory hijab law, which requires women to cover their hair in public. So you get shot and paralyzed for not covering your hair in Iran, and we have people in Germany who would embrace this kind of stuff. Now we come to Gina Amini. This sparked wide outrage in 2022. She died in the hospital because of the guidance patrol. The guidance patrol is the religious morality police. So to give you a glimpse of the mindset. The 3 people, you can read their names here, are just a drop in the ocean of lives taken by evil, in my opinion. And while the UK is speed running to become the next Iran or Pakistan 2.0, I hope that the people of Iran can have their lion back on the flag and have some delicious, delicious cutlet in the future. A speech by Nadia Murad, an ISIS survivor and Nobel Peace Prize laureate, was initially cancelled by the Toronto District School Board in November 2021 due to concerns that her story, as detailed in her book The Last Girl, My Story of Captivity, could foster Islamophobia. And now we go back to the fundamentals, because this is by the book. The people who are doing this are doing it by the book. The going for the head stuff is in the book. The punishments are in the book. You heard what I said from this article from 2025, what is happening in Pakistan. And I'm not saying that every Muslim is bad, but the bad actors. But the bad actors only do what the book tells them to do. This is why we need to force behavior. And this is what I said in my last video already. We need you, Larry. Come on, get your cape and fly over and force behavior. And if you want to hear more about the topic, I strongly advise to listen to Brigitte Gabriel. She's a Lebanese-American woman who fled the Lebanon, and give it a try. Have a nice day.